Okay, so there's a lot of bullshit happening in the world. Quite frankly, there's a lot of bullshit happening in the world. And when I say bullshit, I mean pain. There's a lot of pain in the world, and when I call it bullshit, I make it personal, right? I make it personal and I give everybody else and the world and circumstances around me that I can't control responsibility for my own happiness. So, I want you to pause and for us to collectively ask the question that's really helpful and supportive of what can we do? What can we actively do today? Like, what can we do today to be part of the solution instead of part of the problem, part of the pain? Can we be part of the healing instead of part of the pain? How can you do that today? How can I do that today? And this is a great question because as we think about it, a lot of times when we feel hopeless and we're in doubt and fear, we feel overwhelmed and our answer is, I can't help. There's nothing that I can do. And I empathize with that because I've been there and I will be there again, right? All of that humanity, those feelings come and go, right? Depression is just a feeling on multiple levels, and it can come and can go. So to really reflect on what I can do in this moment, what I can do today to be part of the solution and part of the healing and the well-being of the world instead of part of the pain, part of the bullshit, and taking responsibility for my own happiness is a crucial step. When I don't and I feel stuck in doubt, I know that deep down, I know that I'm just in a victim role. I feel like I'm being victimized and the world is against me and things aren't going my way. I separate us and them, or me and them. There's a big separation of from me to the world around me. And I'm familiar with the victim role, but here's the thing about the victim role. I was sexually abused growing up. I went through plenty of trauma and tragedy, and I know what that feels like to embody the role of a victim and feel like I can't do anything. But that's fear-based, right? That's fear-based decision making. And here we're talking about what we can actively do today in order to be part of the solution and part of the healing and part of the well-being. Right? So there's this gentle balance that can actually feel quite chaotic if we don't have support. A gentle balance of navigating. How do we stay somewhat informed of what's going on around us, the pain that's happening in the world? And then how do we take action and live a life that's based off of being a part of the solution, while also not driving ourselves absolutely insane with media and diving into the pain of the world and taking that on as our own. So juggling the two and trying to find your own personal balance between those two things is super important for your health and well-being, and also for you to feel empowered to take action and to be part of the solution. How to do this is surround yourself with people who are supportive. Surround yourself with people, with things, with music that encourage the way you want to feel and the way that you want to show up. And people who feel like they're a part of the solution. And when you actually are around them, you feel like they're living a life that's also part of the solution. Find those people and hang out with them, be around them. Synergize, work together, be a part of the solution together, break down the barriers between us and them, between the bullshit, the pain in the world, and what we can actually do, individually and collectively in order to be part of the solution. And also understanding that a lot of terrible shit that happened to me growing up that felt terrible at the time and I felt like it was being done to me, in a huge way, I changed my perspective as I got into a mindfulness practice and I realized that it happened for me. It was a great blessing. it brought me to yoga, right? I went through really excruciating emotional sadness and pain in order to hope for something better. And that's awesome. I would not change that for anything. So while I wouldn't wish it on anyone, right? Because we always think of extremes. It's like, okay, now we're saying that we want pain and we need to welcome it. And it's like, no, maybe that's like super advanced. And if I become an enlightened individual, I'll welcome pain into my life. But I think that I'm not like a martyr and trying to self-sacrifice. I'm really trying to find balance between everything. And there's something to be said about the amount of wisdom I've gained from going through hardship. And I wouldn't change that. I wouldn't want it again. I wouldn't welcome it. But if, when I'm dealing with pain in life, I hope and I intentionalize being able to be with it, process it in a skillful and healthy way, right? Instead of resisting it and pushing it out to deal with later, or really identifying with it and feeling lost in chaos and pain. So I encourage you to find a balance, find support, reach out, and just love yourself. Take good care of yourself the way that you want to see other people taking care of themselves. Lots of love to you guys until I see you again. Lots of resources and insight on KarenciaYoga.com. Bye, you guys.